I sat down with my accountant, he said, more. Okay. Look, sometimes you need the faith, sometimes you need to know your worth, sometimes you need to wait. Shoot like the golden boy, but in front of the bay. You can't negotiate with Drake, you gon' have to pay. But wait, jugging on the main stage, the mainframe, loosen up your face, baby. Sometimes I need a vacate, meditate, hydrate, protect my energy before engagement.
Grew up having nothing, you're labeled impatient. But once the boss made it, you're labeled amazing. Meticulous with words, such a force of nature. I don't wanna seem absurd, but that boy's a gangster. Focusing on me, way from Tel Aviv. Barbados with the hustle, pockets LIDs. Distinctive destinations, all I wanna see. Oceanfront residences, 3 different ones a week. Cause I deserve that, it's time to learn that. Mess around and put that thing up where your perm at. 6 figures every year, yeah, I earn that. At the front of this line is where my turn at.
Sometimes you need a friend, not the ones that just show up and don't put nothing in. You know the ones that lend their hand and want to see you win. When you come up on that lick, make sure you cut them in. And then, sometimes you need a fool. Oh. Men gon' lie, women gon' lie. You're looking for the truth and the numbers don't hide. Looking for the root of all evil, then you need to go open up the briefcase, see with your eyes. Everybody claim to be greatest of all times, but they never spend a day in the rain in the front line. No lie. Stop playing on my phone line. Pull up in the space coupe with the roof optional. Wonder why they follow suit. I've been groomed from the womb. Came out of my mama with some running tennis shoes. Faster than the speeding bullet. Nah, it's cool, it's cool. Don't play with it, baby. Say so what you gon' do with it? Stop playing with it. If you don't do it, then you don't play with it, baby. Exactly. Yeah. You ain't built like that.
I don't know no better, I'm on this every day. You cannot run with me, boy, I'm a heavyweight. Baby, I know what's coming.
DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this carries into the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
He was brought down.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
On 2nd down, Jackson. He's going to drop this underneath to Ingram. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The surprise second-round pick, Sean Bunting, there to get a hand in.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
54 yards on the punt there, 15 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. And he's got some space here. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Buccaneers 7, Ravens nothing. Bradley Pinion the kickoff.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 15 yards on the play. First down.
1st and 10.
Now remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Justin Matabike there to bring him down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 25. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
The 21-yard line.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
1-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Here's Matthew McCrane now for the field goal try. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. McCrane's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Buccaneers 10, Ravens nothing.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Ball carrier.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
And the Raven first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
2nd and inches at the Buccaneers' 35-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And a nice run there, going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 28. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Ingram again, a first down carry. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a first down pickup of 8. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Bucs' 13-yard line.
Now Jackson. Flush to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0, our score.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chain, tell him get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell him move the chains. I score up in the end, so do my dance all on the hater.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the night. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Tucker on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Ravens.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And they give this time to the tailback. And some room to run now. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 12 yards there and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Rodgers again now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
At the 28-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
To Mark Ingram. A fumble on the play. Out of bounds. The offense retains possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded in the end zone. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. Let's see if they can avoid doing it here. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Number 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our VCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens' 28. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
The ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Another carry.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
The 11-yard line.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Buccaneers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further.
The ball carrier.
Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to... And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Austin Eckler, his first touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
To kick off for Tampa Bay.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
At the 44-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Jackson's pass, intended for Willie Snead, incomplete. It's 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd down, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Jackson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Justin Houston in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
It's 2nd down.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson eluding the press. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Hit by Antoine Winfield Jr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
3rd down and 7.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost it. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he's able to put it through.
Makes the score Buccaneers 24, Ravens 3. For Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Offense set at the line for this next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Being chased out left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, Defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Now Jackson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They'll roll him out right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ingram. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a third time here on fourth down. Throw left side complete. It's Andrews.
Jackson's pass.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Jackson will throw again. And some space here. 23 yards on the tuck and run. And what are the whistles for? Timeout.
23 yards.
So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So first and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Jackson eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete as the clock stops here with just 1 second to go in this football game. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Tucker left that one out to the right. It's no good, off the mark, and this score will stay right where it is. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bucs,